Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the Brothers of Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And before we get started, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you, I say shalom, or we say shalom. I got the brother Yawam with me.
Shalom.
And hey, we're gonna get into this topic that we got, going into how the elect or Yahweh sleeper cells. And before we get started, or before we jump into some precepts, I want to get into what do sleeper cells do. And I just typed this up on Google, and it says a sleeper cell refers to a cell or isolated groupings of sleeper agents that lie dormant until it receives orders or decides to act. Now, of course, they correlate this to like, at least here in America, they correlate that to being like a terrorist or whatnot. But in the spiritual sense, we're them sleeper cells, man. We were lying here dormant until we were activated by who? Yahweh. Who put the spirit upon us and made us rise up, right? And hey, we're a terror unto Esau. By us turning back to our power, we've become an enemy, a terror, right? And we'll tap into that as we go along into this topic. But we're gonna first start off with Jude 1-5.
This is Jude chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, I would therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
Right. So again, there was a one point in time that we knew this truth. We knew the understanding of the scriptures. We knew that we were Israelites. We knew the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, right? But we had to be put back in remembrance, right? Pursuant to Malachi 4 and 5. I'm gonna read this real quick. Slakia, let me get this. This is Malachi verses 4 and verse 5. It says, Slakia chapter 4 verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of that great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And that was that's really talking about Abba Bivens, who came on the scene and pretty much kickstarted this truth to be pushed into the ears of the elect, right? That's where it first started. That's whenever the beginning of Israel rising up started. But let's go back to that Jude 1 and 5. Can you read that again, Baba Kasha?
This is Jude chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
Right, again, so reiterating the point, we once knew this at a time. The scriptures tell us that there'll be a time that there'll be a falling away, right? And that falling away happened. We fell away from our heritage. We fell away from knowing who we were, the names of our power, right? And then we got put into captivity here in the land of which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt in Revelation 11 and 8, which is here in America. We're suffering the curses, but the elect, the remnant, will always be there until they were activated through the word, through the spirit of the Most High, which came through Abba Bivens. That's where it first kicked off, and now you're seeing the fruit of that man's labor, right? But now, if we can, Baba Kasha, if you ain't holding nothing, can you get Isaiah 44 and verse 2?
This is Isaiah 2. Should it start at verse 1?
Yeah, start at verse 1.
This is Isaiah 44:1. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Yasharwan, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. And I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring."
Yeah, and that's talking about this truth, right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the Holy Spirit, that's being poured upon us as we speak. Go ahead.
I got a quick precept. This is
Con.
Deuteronomy 32, and we'll get verse 2. All right, it reads, verse 2, it says, I'm going to start in verse 1. This is Deuteronomy 32:1. "Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass." Going back to where it says, I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. That dry ground, going to Ezekiel 37, this word representing the water, all right, and the things that were dry, the people that were dry is the nation of Yasharala. Pretty much the Lord put his spirit back in the earth, to where the elect received the understanding again. That's why I said in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Right. Yeah, going back to Zion, man. Zion, what does Zion mean? It means monument, but also means parched land, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with the parched land? You pour water on it. So of course, this is talking about Zion, and also Ezekiel 37, like the brother may mention, man, we were the dry bones, right? And that spirit, it being that water, that by the which we're being watered by, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's go ahead and continue on verse 4 and read down to 5.
This is Isaiah 44 and verse 4. It says, "And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourses."
Right.
One.
And what are willows, man? Willows are big, big trees. And now you're seeing that now, man. You're seeing Israel rise up. You're seeing the elect wake up and receiving this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, man, and flourishing. Hey, we're no longer leaning upon them who smote us, man. We're no longer leaning upon Esau, right? We're becoming separate. We're starting to become sovereign mentally. That's where it starts off first, mentally. We're breaking those chains off that Esau had on us, and now, the mental chains, and now we're cleaving unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Right? Go ahead.
Isaiah 44 and 5 says, "One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Yasharala."
Right. So now we're coming back to our heritage, coming back to our true identity. We're no longer calling ourselves Black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Colombian, all these other proverbs and bywords, Native American, that we were given upon us by our enemies. Right? Now we're calling ourselves by our true name, right? Yasharala, Israel. And you're seeing how this really affects Esau's system by us coming back to our true power. Esau has a problem with us calling ourselves Israelites, subscribing by the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah.
Mm-hmm.
But you can subscribe to you can subscribe to anything under the earth: Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, all these other things. You can call yourself whatever you want, but once you come back to your true heritage, there's a problem. And why is that? We
Pretty
can go
much.
into. Go ahead.
I got a precept.
Khan.
This is Ayawab, Job chapter 17. We'll get verse 12. It says, "They changed the night into day. The light is short because of darkness." We're running back. It says they changed. Could you get that in the NLT, Bob Kushah?
What was it?
Job 17 and 12.
Khan.
So it says, they changed the night into day. The light is short because of darkness. And we go on to the NLT.
Khan. This is Job 17 and verse 12. It reads, these men say that night is day. They claim that the darkness is light.
They claim that the darkness is light. Pretty much that darkness representing the social construct. You see, the reason that it's a problem for Esau is because we're not operating in the parameters of the boundaries that he's already set. And those boundaries and the things that he has set is, all right, this is what the tribe of Issachar, you're going to be so-called Mexicans, all right? All right, you blacks, you so-called blacks, you Judites, you're going to be so-called blacks, you know? And if you're not operating in those fashions, all right, if you're not how Esau pretty much set the world up to be, that social construct, the social contract, you know, pretty much it's going to create issues, you know?
Right. Yeah. You know, pretty much with Jake waking up, you know, we become as free, what they call free radicals in the body, you know. And when you really go into that free radicals, it's more like it causes problems in the body. You know, it causes problems within your system, your immune system, everything. It starts to decompose within. So we're these free radicals in Esau's system that's fucking up Esau's system. But us just waking up and proclaiming the truth, hey, we're breaking down them strongholds, man.
The glitch in the matrix.
Right. Khan, exactly. That's exactly what it is. We're like Neo and those that woke up. And, and you know, you got fucking, what's his name? Agent Smith trying to hunt them down, trying to reprogram them, trying to make them sell out, you know. And we see a lot of men that you know, possibly took the bag, you know, try to keep Esau's matrix system going. You know, but we know that the elect, they're not going to fall for that. They're not going to take the bag. They're not going to give in. The elect are going to strive all the way to the end. That's why the elect are a problem unto Esau. We're pretty much a nuisance unto him. We're that thorn on his side. But let's see. Baba Kushak, can you get Ezekiel 37 and start at verse 9? Just to get real quick, just us that we're those dry bones, you know, that rolls back up.
It's Ezekiel chapter 37. I'll get verse 9. It says, Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, power come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied.
Salakia, I just want to say that's talking about, that breath is talking about the same breath Adam was put breath in, you know, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, you know, the truth, right? Go ahead.
So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
Right. And we're that great army that's standing upon our feet, man. The prophets, right? Lord willing, we'll be that elect that was prophesied from the beginning, right? But hey, who else is out here doing the work? Who else is out here standing upon their feet? Who else is out here prophesying the downfall of America, right? And that's none and only but the Israelites, the true Israelites. Read down to verse 11.
Con, this is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 11. It says, Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasha'Allah. Behold,
right, so right there, just really, it just explains it right there. I mean, it's just, that's the point. You know, the bones that got that breath put back in them, it's talking about the nation of Israel. All right, you can finish it out in verse 11.
God says, Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts.
That was whenever, you know, we lost connection with the Most High. You know, we were in this that state of mind. We had no hope. You know, we were in captivity. Our enemies had us captive, did with us whatsoever they wanted. They completely destroyed us, and Jacob had no hope. They had Christianity wasn't doing nothing for him. None of these other guys were doing nothing for him. But now that we're coming back, now we got the breath back in us. Now we got hope. Now we know what's going to come to pass, right? It's a saying in the world that says, oh, and then first of all, too, we didn't know who we were. We were subscribing ourselves by all these other names, not knowing that we were the children of the Most High, Yasha Allah, right? But there was there's a saying in the world, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going, something along those lines. You know, so hey, you gotta know where you're from, man. It's important. A lot of Jake will say, well, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter, because that shows you your heritage, man. It shows you who you stem from, who your people are, and why you're in the condition that you're in. This whole world that Esau has set up is literally a matrix on your mind, making you to believe that the world is supposed to be like this. The Esau's always is going to be on top, and then you're always going to be in the bottom. You were born for nothing more than to work, eat, shit, and sleep. That's not the case. The scriptures tell you otherwise, that we were really meant to be priests and kings on the earth. So knowing that reinforces that that mindset, man, of turning back to the Lord, man. Or at least it should. But we know 2/3 they're not gonna get it. 2/3 ain't gonna believe in it. That's why we're saying this is for the elect only, right?
What's the precept that says prophesy the end from the beginning?
I believe that's in the Apocrypha.
Should be in Isaiah somewhere. I think it's 41 or something. 40 something.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, 46. It's 46. Yeah, that's what it is. I got a quick one. This is Isaiah 46 and verse 8. It says, remember this and shew yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old. Going back to what you were saying. It says, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And keep going. It says, from calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executed my counsel from a far country. Yeah, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it, and I will also do it. It says, that's pretty much the point, you know, because the end was prophesied from the beginning. It was declared from the beginning. So if you know where you come from, where you stand at in prophecy, that would tell you what you should be doing in these last days. You know, and for Jake to say it was a Jake, he was like, it was a meme. He said, all right, he knows that he's an Israelite. Well, how's that going to be beneficial to him as a person? You know, so going back to that statement that you said, if you don't know your past, then how will you know your future? And it's beneficial because it will tell you, all right, you're Israelite, pretty much. If you know that you potentially have a chance to make it, you know, in these days to come, it will behoove you to repent. You know, that's how it's actually beneficial. So you have to know where you come from to know where you're going.
Right, because you know, whenever you go to these other, you know, things that Jake cleaved to, as far as being black, you know, and all these other proverbs and bywords that Jake cleaves to, what's the end goal? What's the end goal behind all that? There ain't none. The end goal, I mean, the whole purpose is just to keep you in slavery,
right?
Perpetually. At least with and this all goes back to what we just read. You know, that our hope is lost. You know, our parts are cut off. Because Jake before this truth, Jake had no hope. Jake had no knowledge as far as what's gonna come after. No knowledge as far as what to do next. But now that we're coming back, now again, going back to the point, now we become awakened, activated. Now we become a nuisance unto Esau. Now that we know who we are and where we stand, you know, hey, now this is a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and read Revelation 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. And Baba Kushai, if you can hold Judith 5 and 20 through 21, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. It says, Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. You know, this is what I quoted earlier, Sodom and Egypt, which is talking about here in America. But it says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, meaning they didn't put us to rest. They didn't give us they didn't tell us who we were. They didn't tell us who our power was. They took all that away from us, and they kept us in this state of limbo where we were dead, but we were still, moving around, right? Pretty much just walking, just the walking dead, really. Verse 10, it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Right, and that's talking about us. Those two prophets talking about the tribe of, the house of Judah and the house of Israel, right? The northern and southern kingdom. That's what that's talking about. And that those gifts that whenever they were rejoicing that they were sending, that's talking about Israelites, right? So hey, they had us in captivity. They were sending out gifts because they were rejoicing because they remember in the past how we were fucking them up. We had so many battles and we were just whooping their ass. We subjugated them, and now that they had a hand over us, now they were rejoicing. They were happy. They were glad because now they felt like now it was their time. It was their time to rule, which it was, through prophecy. Of course, it was their time to rule. But now that time is coming to an end, as I'm going to read right here, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, right? Which that 3 days and a half is pretty much going into a time period of roughly 350 years when Jake was, brought over here in cargo slave ships and lost their heritage, was stripped away from what they knew. But it says,
I was that time period of 1619 to 1969.
Khan, when Abba Bivens came on the scene. That's right. And it says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And who's the one that saw us? Who's watching us rise up? Our enemies. When you read Psalms 83, it lists our enemies. All these nations are our enemies, man. Primarily the house of Esau, right? They're the ones that orchestrated all this, that plotted and schemed to have us in this state, right? But great fear is falling upon them now, seeing that, hey, now they don't have control over us. Again, like I said, we're free radicals, man. Esau has no control over us, so the only thing he can do is abide his time and try to come up with a way with his new with his NWO plan, right, to try to take us out. But we know that whole idea is nothing but vanity, man. It's all vain because it's all going to come to naught, right? Baba Kushai, can you go ahead and get that in Judith?
Khan, this is Judith, also Yahweh Dayath, chapter 5. And we'll get verse 17. It says, and whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the Most High that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
Hey, there you go. Hey, Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked, man. Whenever we were doing good, we were living good, but then Jay got comfortable, it started going off, and what happened? Hey, them curses started cleaving onto us, man. We were taken captive. That's that's one of the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Right? Go ahead.
Khan, I got a quick precept going into that.
Khan.
This is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse I'll start from verse 19. It says, he shall be buried with the burial of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry and lift up thy voice in Bashan and cry from the passages there. It's like from the passages, for all thy lovers are destroyed. I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This hath been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyedest not my voice. All right, and pretty much like he was going into, that's pretty much how 2/3 of Jake have operated. When they was in prosperity, they pretty much forgot about the Lord. That's why the scriptures say, Yashawan wax fat and kick. So pretty much Jake has always been in that rebellious spirit, and Jake is super resilient. So even when Jake is at the bottom, he feels as if he knows everything. He still don't want to repent. 2/3.
There's a precept that goes when there is in the time of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction.
Right.
The time whenever you needed the Most High. You forget about the times of Egypt. You forget about the hard times where you were praying to the Most High whenever you living good. And that's Jake all the way, man. Jake starts feeling himself, starts feeling good. Hey, the Most High is like an afterthought. And that's the problem. That was always been that Achilles heel unto Jake, man. But this time, when we're gonna see when we receive our rest, we're gonna be perfect. So hey, we're never gonna go off. Those tendencies of putting the Most High in the back, that's not gonna be in our thoughts, right? Come, we can go back to that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
This is Judith chapter 5 and verse 18. It says, "But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their enemies were taken by and their cities were taken by the enemies."
Hey, isn't our city taken by Jerusalem? Isn't it taken by the enemies right now? The land of Israel, being taken by various nations. Hey, our land is taken, man. We're not in our homeland.
Kind of even.
Lucky, go ahead.
You finish your point, and I'll get my point.
No, I was just gonna say, hey, look what they're doing to our land. Look what's going on over there, man. But that alone, what's going on right now over there in that land with the JOOs, that proves to you that they ain't the real people. The land is waiting for us to come back, man. In Romans 8, I forgot what precept it is, but it's in Romans 8. I think it's 16, if I'm not mistaken, or 15. Pretty much saying, roughly paraphrasing, that all creation is waiting for us to return back, man. For the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. The all creation is waiting for us, man. The land is waiting for us to return back. Right? You got it, bro.
Connor says, you pretty much mentioned how the land is inhabited by strangers, and then also on a spiritual note, it says, and their cities were taken by the enemies. I got a quick precept. This is Isaiah Yeshaya chapter 1 and verse 7. Verse 6, it says, verse 5, it says, "Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment." So pretty much Jake has been comfortable and resilient in this state. Verse 7, "Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devour in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers." So pretty much going into the point, Jake also is spiritually destroyed. So tying back into where it says, and their cities were taken by the enemies. So 2/3 is ultimately comfortable with this. You give them sports, the ability to vote, and then Jake fall right back asleep.
Yeah, that's Jake, man. Here's Jake. Jake got the stage 5 cancer, man, and then they be getting these what they call the chemotherapy.
Uh-huh.
You know, he starts giving them he starts giving them the chemotherapy, and you know, hey, Jake feels like, hey, they're gonna be okay. It's like, nah, man, you gotta cut that cancer out, man. You gotta figure out a way to heal that cancer. You know, that them chemo treatments ain't doing nothing for you, man. Like the brother mentioned, all these bread and circuses, man. You know, giving y'all these penny burgers, giving
Mm-hmm.
y'all these $half-a-dollar burgers, goddamn giving y'all all these distractions for y'all to pretty much distract y'all's minds, giving y'all all these drugs for y'all to not wake up, for y'all not to pretty much to dull the pain of enduring here in America, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Going
this
back
place is hell. So like,
I'm about to say Isaiah 1:6. It says, from the sole of the foot unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises, and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. You know, pretty much you saying pretty much they just give treatment, so to speak. They don't necessarily give a cure. You know,
right.
Jake is totally cool with it, you know. But going back to I think it's in Luke, it talks about Lazarus and the rich man. You know, with Lazarus, which is I believe it's Alazar in the Hebrew, but pretty much they represented Israel, and the heathen pretty much benefit off of Jake's downfall. You know,
Yeah.
on Jake being in ruins.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And, hey, like the brother said, hey, them nations, there are those dogs in that parable, man. Just right there, right behind Jake, man. Just pretty much benefiting off of him, using Jake as merchandise. That's the reason why everything is pushed towards Jake. Jake is the biggest consumer of everything, man.
Right.
But anyway, you know, we can go back to that Judith.
Judith chapter 5 and verse 19 says, "But now they are returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them." Verse 21, "But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world."
Right. So Esau and our enemies, they know this, man. They know that if Jake is in constant sin, which is they set up America to be like that, you know, the valley of the shadow of death, you know, because what are because the wages of sin is death, right? So in order to keep Jake in this death type of lifestyle is to promote sin, right? So again, this is the valley of the shadow of death. America's the valley of the shadow of death, and Jake living in it, it's susceptible. Jake's very susceptible to death because of the sin that's being promoted here in America, and Jake's acceptance and what's that word?
Ignorance.
Kind of ignorance, but also just the fact that he embraces it. You know, he embraces the lifestyle, the American lifestyle, which is nothing but wickedness.
Well, they do more than accept it. They pretty much 2/3 pretty much uphold the American way of life.
Right, right, exactly, man. Hey, hey, Jake would die, man. Jake would die for the American lifestyle, for the American what's that word? The American dream, the American values, right? Hey, Jake would go hard for it, man. But going back to the point, that latter part, verse 21, it says, "But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest the Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world." So again, going back to that point, man, hey, Now that they know that we're waking up, we're rising up, we're coming back to our power. That is a major threat unto their system.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why a great fear fell upon them, right? Which saw us, man. They're watching us rising up. They're seeing us, they're seeing the videos, seeing the edification going out. They're seeing Esau seeing himself getting exposed. So of course, great fear is going to fall upon them. When you build your kingdom on nothing but lies, and here it is, the truth is the only thing that's able to dismantle all them lies that you've been purporting. Of course, you're going to be in fear, man.
Mm-hmm.
And this man's in great fear, and also all these other heathen, because they know their time is up. Their time is up, and it's our time now, man. It's our time now.
Okay.
We can go. We can go to 2 Timothy 2:1. As a matter of fact, I'll read that. And Baba Kushai, if you can hold Jeremiah 1, and we can start at verse 4 on that one. But I'm gonna read this real quick. This is 2 Timothy 2:1. It says, "Therefore, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace of Yahushua Hamashiach, and the things that thou hast heard from me among many witnesses. The same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself in with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier." Now, going back to that point where I was saying, man, hey, we're that great army, man, rising up. We are them soldiers, right? We are them sleeper cells here in America that has been activated, man. We have been chosen by Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua to push this message, man, right? To wake up the rest of the elect, building up that army, building up them forces, right? And chanting down Babylon, man, breaking the strongholds. That's what we're here for, man. Right? Again, we are them soldiers in that army. Can you go ahead and get that Jeremiah 1 and 4, Babusha?
Jeremiah 1 and 4?
Yeah, 1 and 4 down to 5.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, "Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations."
Right, and this is to all the brothers, man. All the brothers from the beginning, you know, were ordained to do whatever it is they're doing right now. You know, like the scripture says, the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets, right? You know, let him that is righteous be righteous still. Let him that is wicked be wicked still, right? So, hey, them same spirits are coming back right now. And the elect, again, were ordained from the beginning to be activated at this time. Certain men are activated at different times, right? But the elect, at the end of the day, they're gonna wake up, they're gonna receive the spirit and be activated through the spirit to believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and to separate themselves from Esau's clutches, man. All right. And going back to the point of us, this is Isaiah 13 and 2. It says, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles." Right, and that's what we're doing, man. We're raising up that banner, man. We're calling out Esau, right? Waking up the elect. We're doing what we gotta do, you know. And hey, and best believe this word has reached the gates of the nobles, man.
Mm-hmm.
These top elite, these governors, these presidents, all these nobles, right? They heard this, man. This is the reason why you got plans like the G7 summit. You got the WEF forum. I mean the whatever the hell they got, Bilderberg group. All these other things, man. All these other councils to try to upset prophecy, to try to destroy Yasha Allah. You know, this is a major threat. That's why soon this word is going to be taken off from the face of the earth, man. You ain't gonna be able to hear this word and it's not gonna be accessible as it is now. Right? It's time. Hey, the famine of the word is coming. That's what we tell brothers and sisters that are listening, you know, hey, to repent and turn back to the Lord, man. Like it says, put not off from day to day. You know, The scripture says, seek him 10 times more.
Mm-hmm.
So the time is now, man. You can't be putting off the Lord, man. Otherwise, the Lord's going to put you off, man, whenever you need help.
Okay.
Right? Baba Kushah, do you have anything?
No, I wasn't holding on. What you need me to get?
Can you get 2 Corinthians, Salakia, 2 Corinthians 10:3, and read down to verse 6. You know, because we're not, even though, you know, I'm using this term sleeper cells, you know, it's not in the negative connotation that, you know, they portray to be. You know, we're really just here pushing his word. That's all we're doing, man. Waking up the elect, pushing his word, rebuking the wickedness of this place, right? But this is a major thing. The word is a major, it's very powerful, man. It's very powerful to where it has become a major threat unto Esau and to the other nations. But you can go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3, it says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds."
Right. So, hey, our weapons are not carnal, man. Our weapon is the sword, but it's the scriptures, man. That's what it's talking about. It ain't the physical sword like Esau's blessing. Nah, our power is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, right? This word, this truth, this knowledge, which is tearing down the strongholds that Esau has, man. First and foremost, on our minds, right? We're breaking them chains off, man. Them chains ain't on us no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're, like I said, we're free radicals, man. We're sleeper cells. We done woke up. And this is a nuisance unto Esau. Because them chains that Esau has is his dominion over the earth. His dominion over you. And now Esau seeing that, hey, his grasp that he once had, that control that he once used to have, it's slipping from his hands, man. Hey, but that's all prophecy. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. Verse 5, it says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach."
Mm-hmm. Right, so we casting down every other wayward doctrine, every other anything that's contrary to the scriptures, man. We're casting down anything that's wicked. We're rebuking it. Everything that is uphold, that's contrary to the Most High, that's anti Hamashiach. Hey, we're calling it out.
Mm-hmm.
To the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? Go ahead and read verse 6, Baba Kushah.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6, it says, "And having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled."
Hey, it says having all readiness to revenge all disobedience, man. Hey, it says when your obedience is fulfilled. Hey, and all that is going to happen whenever we receive them bodies, man. We're going to subjugate these nations, man. We're going to have full control over the earth, man. We're going to dominate, man. Everything's going to bend the knee to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua at the end of the day, right? Everything is going to be subjugated, all through first and foremost the word that's being pushed out, and second of all, whenever Yahushua returns and establishes his kingdom, right? But I want to get one last precept. This is Hebrews 4:12. It says, "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing of sunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and it's a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." Hey, and you know, we're out here, you know, giving Esau all of this, man. He's hearing this word and he's getting cut the fuck up. He's getting sliced and diced here and there, man. His kingdom, the people, they're all getting it, man. They're all getting hurt. The feelings getting hurt. You know, they're over here, you know, stressing over what's gonna happen, what's gonna come to pass. You know. So again, this truth is a lot more powerful than any sword, than any weapon that we got. Because either ways, you know, Esau's got the blessing of the sword, So the only thing we can combat him with is the truth, which, hey, as we can see, is very painful to Esau, man. You know, whatever happened to sticks and stones, man. Right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. That was the shit that Esau used to always say back in the day. And now look at this shit. They don't say that shit no more.
Right.
Hey, if you got anything, bro, you can go ahead and bring it out. That's pretty much all I had.
Okay. I got a quick one.
Con.
This is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 17. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And that's essentially what we see taking place. You know, the waters being the scriptures like we got in Deuteronomy 32:2, and also Isaiah 44. You know, pretty much his word is exposing this devil. You know, we're in the process of Esau being exposed, and while he's being exposed, his kingdoms is pretty much being taken from his grasp. You know, so he doesn't have the world sees like he once did. You know, and that's why he has to you know, backtrack, and he's coming with the, you know, the smear campaign. You know,
Right.
pretty much to take away the word, to pretty much make this word less accessible to the masses. You know, so that he can push forth his NWO. You know, but he's not going to get it fully off the ground. You know.
Right. That's right. That's right, man. You know, well, that's pretty much all I had, man. You know, hey, the elect's waking up. You know, we're becoming a nuisance unto Esau. Hey, and all we can hope for, man, is Yahushua comes. We're really just hastening the days. That's really what we're doing, man. We're hastening the days of the return of our Lord, man. The faster Esau brings out his NWO, the faster he releases that wrath, hey, the faster we go into the kingdom, man. You know, so Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. We're gonna go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Till the next time, we're gonna say Shalom. Shalom.